Aloha, I'm Dr. Val, Kauai Psychologist, and today's tips title is The P's of Reforming Our Lives. What I want to talk to you today about is that as we get permission to return to our lives and reform them, essentially rebuild them, rejuvenate them, and really get a new lease on life here, there are some things that I want you to keep in mind. First of all, the first P is positive. Let's focus first of all on what we do have, the rights and freedoms that we are given versus those things that we do not have. And I would say yet, because I truly believe that these things are going to return for us and our way of life is going to be a choice. However, right now, there are still some restrictions on the majority of us, at least here in the United States. So if we focus on those things we do not have, what happens is we get focused on those things and we close off our mind to receiving the things that we do have and being thankful for those. And we've already talked about in previous videos how thankfulness is important in our health and in our immunity and certainly in our mental health. So positive, number one. Number two, probably you can probably guess this one, and it is patient. Be patient with yourself and with others. How come? Well, really, remember, we've just gone through a tremendous amount of change, and now, woohoo, we get to go through some more change. And change, as we've talked about in previous videos, can be challenging. So give yourself a break. Let yourself realize that you can be patient and take your time and expect things to come as you practice them and as you get into this little bit new way of living, at least adjusting to what we are able to do. Then you can be patient with others as well. Other people are also going through those changes. And remember, this is another thing, we've all been through this big threat. And it has been a big threat, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to recognize it and say, yes, COVID-19 has been a threat in our lives, or you just want to repress that truth. It has been a threat. And so our sympathetic system has really taken a break over the last 2-3 months, however long it's been for you. And our parasympathetic system, which has been known as the fight or flight part of our system, our nervous system, has been kicked into gear and really into overdrive. And so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to recognize that in ourselves, and we probably have pent up energy, which may have also turned into anger, frustration, all of those things that would be absolutely normal. However, when we get back into interacting with others on a regular basis, we need to be careful of that baggage because we are carrying it from the threat and from our system being up and ready to fight, ready to go and attack this virus as best we can or cope with it. And remember, others are dealing with the same issues. So if they're a little cranky or a little brazen, please give each other a break during this reintegration phase. And then remember, the last P's have to do with our overall view of what's happening, and that is we need to expect progress as opposed to perfection. People are not perfect. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. You're not perfect, I'm not perfect, and when we interact with one another, we discover that. Imperfections in ourselves and others. However, we can expect progress. And so remember, this applies to our government as well. They're doing the best they can to give us the freedoms in a way that they think is healthy and safe for us. So if we realize that and we take one step at a time and expect progress versus perfection, I think we're going to be a whole lot better off. And those of us who are Christians, remember Philippians 4:13, it is my life verse, I love it. It says, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. And for me, that's Jesus Christ. So remember, positive, patient, progress, not perfection, in Philippians 4:13. You can get through this. We will get through this together and be stronger for it. Bless you guys.